Hey everyone, this is Rachel from Queen Vacum, and welcome to Queen Vacum After Hours. It's been a long day. We just closed up for the evening, but I just had an epiphany. I thought I would shoot a quick video for you based on a question that we had to have gotten maybe like a dozen times today. And honestly, we get it probably a dozen times every day, and that's okay. And it has to do with whether or not we repair Dyson stick vacuums. Dyson brand, any brand really, but particularly Dyson stick vacuums. We get people asking us about this all the time because guess what? Like everybody has one. In addition to your regular vacuum, a lot of folks use these battery operated stick vacuums as kind of a helper around the house to keep things tidy. I have other videos dedicated to that. But the question is whether or not we can help you to work on them, to service them, clean them, repair them. And so I give this spiel to everyone, but I'll give it to you now so you can like be warned in advance. The answer is yes and no. So we generally, guys, we hate throwing stuff out. We hate not fixing things. Like we love to repair stuff. It just makes us feel good. We like keeping things out of the landfill and we like protecting our own investments, but we're kind of protective of yours too. So these types of vacuum cleaners are small, but really, really expensive for what they are. Even on super duper Black Friday sale, you're going to be dumping hundreds on these. And no, I mean, even at best, they don't last that many years. We're lucky to get like, I don't know, 3 to 5. But still, we want it to work and we want it to last as long as possible for you. So the answer is yes, we will absolutely try to help you if possible. But what's important to convey in this video right now is just to let you know that there are some limitations that we as service providers are up against. There's a wall. It used to be back in the day, particularly with Dyson as an example, that we had a direct dealership like we do with Miele, okay, where we're contracted directly with them and we can get parts access, perform warranty repairs, regular repairs, all that stuff. Well, Dyson a few years ago kind of pulled away from that and they're trying to, like a lot of other companies, trying to keep it all to themselves. They set up a couple of their own like repair stations up way North Jersey, where they'll sell like parts and kind of like help people tech support over the phone, or people can bring them to these stations like physical stores up North Jersey, King of Prussia and Pennsylvania, whatever. We're like in central coast New Jersey. So they kind of have that, but with that, they pulled the direct access that we have to the parts. That makes life really difficult. They do distribute some parts to like some third-party distributors that we have access to, but the reality is that Dyson does not make all the parts for some of the machines that they consider to be older, and the third party doesn't like keep in stock every one of the parts even that are current, if that makes any sense. So if I were to take in your vacuum and I had to order a circuit board or a power nozzle part or something like that, guys, more often than not, the supplier doesn't actually have them in stock. They have to special order it. So long story short, I can't give you a straight answer whether I can get the part or not. And that makes everybody's life miserable. And the answer is that usually they just don't have it. So effectively, we don't have access to the parts. And we don't like go on Amazon and buy weird parts to put in your machine. We just don't do that. Liability, all that stuff. Okay, so back to the point. So what we can do for your stick backs, service and maintenance. This is super crucial. We know this on every machine, every vacuum, but on these little guys it's especially important because they are so small and they're used like every day. They get overwhelmed very quickly with normal dust, dirt, and debris. Even if you're like pretty good about cleaning the filter and emptying it out and cleaning your brush roller of hair and string and debris and all that stuff, all right, they get overwhelmed and they will not perform well. They will not last very long on their charge, and sometimes they can just full-blown self-destruct. So that's the number one thing that people come in for. the vacuum is working, like it turns on, but it's not working well, and it's just dying really quickly. Okay, so that is a condition that we can help you with. These need to be serviced regularly and deeply, and that's something we can help you with, not a problem. The caveat, the asterisk to when I say yes, we can help you. The other part is that there are some components, like I mentioned, that are not available to us. Like pretty much any part, realistically. The main things of concern are the batteries and then the circuit board, the little computer magic brain inside here that, controls it, that, has to deal with accepting the charge and, channeling the commands through and all that. I can't get that. And that is one layer to the repair that is kind of a deal breaker, at least when it comes to us. We can clean it, we can service it. If the battery is tired, because these do start to lose effectiveness over time. After a few years, you're not getting 100% charge out of it. The potential is kind of like diminished. The very, very first thing is to make sure that the vacuum is clean and serviced, because you could run out and get a new battery for whatever it costs, 50, 100 bucks, depends on the model, and then tire that one out really fast because your vacuum's not maintained and it's struggling and straining to work, and therefore draining its energy down. So when we remove all that gook out of there, way deeper and easier than you can do it at home, because it's a really yucky job, guys, and it can be very time consuming. But we can get more debris out of the cyclones where it breathes. Take this whole guy apart, get all the junk out of there, dramatically improve the performance, and reduce the excessive strain of the battery so that it does last longer on what charge it does have. So that's what we can do for you. Secondarily, once we've seen that and we assess the entire condition of the vacuum, and this, by the way, we can kind of do once you come in, and we can eyeball it real quick before we even take your deposit. But if we can do that, we're going to check and see kind of what your runtime is. We may suggest that you just buy a battery on your own through Dyson.com or Amazon or wherever, but to get that on your own, because they are replaceable for the most part. You can get a little guy like this, a couple screws, and it pops in the base. So that's good. If there's a circuit board problem, a programming problem where it's not even turning on, it's doing weird things, shutting off, flashing lights, that's out of our wheelhouse, guys. You probably want to call like Dyson tech support and see what they think, see maybe what they'll do for you, but otherwise that's kind of beyond our scope. So if your vacuum's just not working great and it's just yucky and smelly and whatever, and you're suspecting is what I just described, then by all means bring it in. At that time, when you come down, we will again take a quick look at it, but that's when we will collect a $20 deposit. And what that does is just kind of like, it's a gamble. We're both endeavoring in a little bit of a gamble. We're probably going to lose an hour of our life that we'll never get back, even just testing and seeing what can be done with this. In deep inspection, we may find that it's not worth repair. We will not have you put good money after bad. If it does not pass some of our tests, we won't do it. But we do ask that you kind of put up $20. It's not a refundable deposit, but that money does go towards your repair if it's successful, and when it's all done, that will come off the top of your tab at the end when you pick it up. So again, we both gamble a little bit, and the reason it's a gamble is because there are some things, because it is computery and magic-y, there are some things we cannot know until we dig deep and do certain electrical tests, and in some cases, it just may not be good. The other thing to keep in the back of your mind, and this is just scary with this kind of product, is that because it is computery-ish, it can do one of those things like, you leave work Monday night and Tuesday morning you open up your computer and now it's like dead, like blue screen, whatever. Sometimes that happens too, and that's something that cannot always be tested for in advance. There are spontaneous failures that happen with products like this. So again, it's a gamble. We will absolutely do our best to help you, again, to keep stuff out of the landfill and keep you from having to re-spend hundreds on a whole nother one. But we will advise you as best as we possibly can so that you're not putting good money after bad. So I know that was a really long explanation, as always. Sorry, guys, but that is the truth. I hope you appreciate that little bit of like insider information from for like what it's like on our side to try to be able to help you again with parts access and all that other kind of stuff. There are limiting factors that just about any dealer or service provider that you deal with in this world, especially now, there are walls that we're going to hit. Don't shoot the messenger, but we are here to help. So stay tuned to our Facebook here, Instagram, and obviously queenvacuum.com for more information about what we do, what we don't do, and obviously our hours when you can come down to our physical storefront and bring your equipment in to be inspected and left for repair. If you have any questions, you can call us on the number you see there. And we'll be happy to talk with you over the phone too if you're still not quite sure before you venture out down to the store. So thank you so much, guys, for your time in listening to my ramblings about vacuums. I hope you have found it helpful. If so, give this video a little thumbs up and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But yeah, get your butts down here to get your equipment taken care of before it fails you and you have to replace it. But if you do have to replace it, obviously I hope you know that we have vacuums to sell you too. The best in the world in our humble opinion. So thanks again for your time, guys. We love you dearly and we hope to see you soon. Take care.